Well, it's coming up now to present time, to Christmas present time, and we need to be prepared, even if we haven't yet bought everything we need. Christmas presents, as we know them, seem to date from a time when there was a little bit of money around, but not much, so children couldn't be given unlimited things, as they so often are today, but by concentrating on just a couple of times a year, there could be a sense of plenty, just for a little while. The gifts at Christmas remind us of the gifts of the Magi to the Christ child, but also of other gifts in the Bible, like the gifts that the Queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon after they had met, and she'd been impressed by his wisdom and the grandeur of his court. She gave gold and spices and precious stones. In return, Solomon gave her anything she wanted. A bit of a cop-out in terms of presents, where you're just supposed to spend effort in finding something to the liking of the recipient. There was certainly nothing of the stocking filler about these presents. They were of enormous value. They were, of course, diplomatic presents, an important practice to this day, that important visitors are welcomed with important gifts. There was a fairly recent event when an American president, on a visit to the UK, was given an important document about the first British settlements in America, which the Foreign Office had managed to find and purchase. The US president gave the Prime Minister a baseball cap, but presents are not an exchange, and I am sure that the Prime Minister gave very polite thanks for his gift. Presents are offered as a means of expressing our feelings about others, and although the cost isn't important, they are given value by the act of giving. At Christmas, gifts remind us, above all, of the gifts that God has given us, and how nothing we could ever give could in any way be an equal response. When the Queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon, she came to test him with hard questions. She came to Jerusalem with a very great retinue, with camels bearing spices and very much gold and precious stones. And when she came to Solomon, she told him all that was on her mind. Solomon answered all her questions. There was nothing hidden from the king that he could not explain to her. When the Queen of Sheba had observed all the wisdom of Solomon, the house that he had built, the food of his table, the seating of his officials, and the attendance of his servants, their clothing, his valets and his burnt offerings that he offered at the house of the Lord, there was no more spirit in her. So she said to the king, "The report was true that I heard in my own land of your accomplishments and of your wisdom, but I did not believe the reports until I came and my own eyes had seen it. Not even half had been told me. Your wisdom and prosperity far surpass the report that I had heard." Then she gave the king 120 talents of gold, a great quantity of spices and precious stones. Never again did spices come in such quantity as that which the Queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon. Meanwhile, King Solomon gave to the Queen of Sheba every desire that she expressed, as well as what he gave her out of Solomon's royal bounty. Then she returned to her own land with her servants.